Live from Lincoln, this is 1011 Now at 5.
Coming up, discussing the dollars, the latest in the plan to transform an abandoned Lincoln shopping center.
Plus, showing off some new threads, the Huskers paying tribute to the early 80s.
First, it's an especially big day for Lincoln's youngest students. That is our top story on 1011 Now at 5. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kelsie Passolt.
And I'm Cole Miller. Today marks the first day of school for many kids across the capital city.
For kindergartners, it's a day that's full of firsts. 1011 Now's Madison Pitsch joins us in our studio with the details. Madison.
Right, Cole, Kelsie. Today I met up with Shavis and his daughter Nevaeh. Today was her first day of kindergarten. Shavis tells me Nevaeh has been playing school for a while and even assigns herself homework. Nevaeh has been asking to go to school for her first day of kindergarten at Hartley Elementary School for weeks.
A, B, C, D, X, I, T, T, L, 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 P.
Despite the rain, there was only sunshine for new kindergartner Nevaeh.
We just went to the store yesterday.
What's your favorite color?
Pink. Pink. And purple. I like rainbow.
Decked out with her all-pink outfit, including pink shoes, a Disney Frozen backpack, and an umbrella, Nevaeh and her dad walked across the street to school.
I'm actually excited. She's excited, so I'm excited. And she's got her backpack and everything all ready. She's ready to run out the door. She's been talking about it since she found out she was going about a month ago.
And as first days of kindergarten usually go, there was a lot of learning how to be around other people and in a classroom.
Good morning, Hartley Hornets.
As for Dad, he's a seasoned pro in the taking the kids to school department, thanks to Nevaeh's older siblings.
Am I going to miss her? I always miss her. I always miss her until she's home. And I want her to go back to school.
As for Nevaeh, her first day as a Hartley Hornet was pretty good. What did you learn today?
ABCs again.
Shavis tells me Nevaeh loves books, so he's really excited for her to get an opportunity to read more this year.
Thank you, Madison. The first day of school is also special for many students across LPS for a number of different reasons. And for the first time, the hallways over at Northwest High were buzzing with that excitement. About 500 students will make the home there. They're the Falcons. This year, there will only be freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, no seniors just yet. Classes there will run on block scheduling, and they will compete in Class B for athletics with 18 sports in total, including cheer, dance, band, choir, as well as performing in visual arts. As Lincoln grows, so too will that school's enrollment.
The school year will start this year with a smaller number that will eventually grow, but we just look forward to celebrating with that group who will open this school year because they're going to be the inaugural Falcons and the ones who really were pioneers at helping get this school open.
Northwest has about 100 staff members. That includes coaches, custodians, and certified staff. It's also home to the new Bryan Health Medical Science Focus program and one of 2 new high schools in the district, with Standing Bear opening next year.
Taking a live look at traffic cameras, something we have not seen in a while, wet pavement and some cooler temperatures. Here's Ken with a first look at your forecast. Hi, Ken.
Kelsie, you know what else I saw today? Somebody in a sweatshirt. Now that hasn't happened in years around here, or at least it seems like it. It was pretty exciting. 3 minutes after the hour, now 4 minutes after the hour of 5 o'clock. Cloudy skies in the capital city. We've had some light rain in Lincoln, other locations as well, but only 3/100ths of an inch officially at the Lincoln Airport, but that's our first measurable moisture of the entire month of August, so we'll take it, and there will be more later tonight. 72 at the studio and the airport. East-northeast wind now at 15 miles an hour. You talk about a pattern change. Our numbers right now go from 64 degrees in Wayne all the way to 91 in Imperial, 72 in Lincoln and Grand Island, but 87 in North Platte. Check out the 24-hour temperature change. A lot of us 8 to 18 degrees cooler than yesterday at this time, and a lot of east-northeast winds out there and dew points in the 60s. Here's what's going on. We're keeping our eye on those showers and thunderstorms in the north, central, and northwest. The light stuff continues to move away. By the time we get to 10 o'clock, Skycast tries to indicate a pretty good area of rain and thunderstorms. Some of those could be producing heavy rain, and a few isolated storms could even be severe as we head through the early tomorrow morning time frame. By 7 o'clock, most of it has come to an end. As far as your 10 o'clock temperatures are concerned, low 60s to low 70s at 10. We'll have complete forecast details coming up in just a few minutes.
Big changes. Thank you, Ken. Now to around the state. Grand Island Public Schools is also marking the first day of classes for many of its students. At Grand Island Senior High, a pep rally helped to welcome the freshman class to the Exploration Academy. Along with the show of school spirit, students had the chance to meet their teachers for the first time. With the new year kicking off, the district's superintendent is also eager to see kids coming back.
The energy level is high, the excitement is there, and so many smiling faces. I think the parents are ready for the students to get back. We are certainly happy to have the students back. We're excited for a wonderful year for 22-23.
And starting tomorrow, all GIPS students will be back in the classroom.
A New York man has been arrested after Nebraska State Patrol troopers say they found more than 250 pounds of cocaine during a traffic stop. It happened last Thursday morning on I-80 near Hershey in Lincoln County. According to NSP, troopers spotted him driving and noticed a license plate violation. And during the traffic stop, an NSP canine picked up a scent of drugs coming from inside the car. 258 pounds of cocaine were found during the search. The 31-year-old driver was arrested on multiple charges, including possession with intent to deliver. Also on I-80, 2 people were arrested for hauling a stolen semi-trailer filled with Amazon products. NSP says the 2 were in the cab of that semi during a traffic stop near Waverly last Friday. Troopers were notified that the stolen trailer was believed to be traveling in Nebraska. A short time later, NSP found it. It had made its way halfway across the U.S. Authorities say it was stolen from Maryland earlier this month.
Well, the plan seems to finally be taking shape when it comes to a long-neglected area in South Lincoln.
A resolution is in front of the City Council today that would use certain tax dollars to get it all done. Let's take a live look at that meeting. Tonight, the City Council is hearing public comment on using about $6.5 million in tax increment financing, or TIF dollars, on the project to help redevelop the area on the northeast corner of 27th Street and Highway 2 in Lincoln. Most of the old buildings, like the former Shopco, Valentino's, and others in that strip, have been vacant for a long time. The developers, an Arizona-based company, plan to reconfigure the layout of the property with a mix of restaurants, retail, and office buildings that better utilize the adjacent Rock Island Trail. We have a reporter at that City Council meeting, and we'll have more details tonight on 10/11 Now at 6 and 10.
An announcement for Husker Nation today. Take a look at some of these new threads. Nebraska football unveiled their new alternate uniforms, and the change is in the details. Namely, it's the mesh up top and those stripes on the pants. The uniform is a tribute to the 1983 Huskers, the scoring explosion, and fans are certainly hopeful this year's team can put up a lot of points too. We know that they'll be worn for one home game this season, but we just don't know yet which game that's going to be. Well, coming up on 10/11 Now at 5, Lyme disease can cause a lot of pain if left untreated.
Soon, researchers will look at ways to prevent it with a vaccine, the timeline for when that could be available. Later on, your full forecast. Right now, look at your Lincoln Weather Almanac.
Across the U.S., nearly 500,000 Americans are diagnosed and treated for Lyme disease each year.
Now, the only vaccine in development to prevent it is headed to phase 3 trials. 10/11 Now's Taryn Vanderford has more.
The CDC says Lyme disease is becoming common in more areas of the U.S. So if a vaccine candidate is found safe and effective, here's a possible timeline for when it could be available. It's the only vaccine in development that could protect against Lyme disease. Pfizer says it will begin a large clinical trial together with a French vaccine company, testing whether its vaccine is safe and effective.
The best part about Lyme disease is it's preventable.
Health experts say wearing repellent with at least 20% DEET concentration, along with long sleeves and pants, can also stop ticks from being able to latch on and transmit the bacteria that causes the disease. But right now, there's no vaccine to prevent it. Around 6,000 people ages 5 and older will be recruited for the trial. Those who take part will be given 3 doses of the vaccine or a placebo, followed by a booster dose. The vaccine targets the bacteria that causes the disease, and the company says it's shown a safe and strong immune response in previous trials. Lyme disease is spread through a tick bite.
Initially, it's a little red spot where the bite took place, but then the redness expands.
Antibiotics can knock out the infection early on, but if left untreated, the infection can spread to the joints, heart, and nervous system.
If there's been a tick and we are uncertain of the length of time this tick has been on our body, in other words, it could be longer than 1 to 2 days, we should seek medical attention.
If the vaccine is found to be safe and effective, Pfizer says it could submit requests for approval in the U.S. and Europe in 2025. The only Lyme disease vaccine previously marketed in the U.S. was discontinued in 2002, citing insufficient consumer demand, according to the CDC.
Taryn, thank you. Coming up, a new study is sounding the alarm on a future filled with extreme heat.
But first, taking a live look out at Skyview, it has been a cool, cloudy, and wet day. Ken's back after the break with how much longer we can expect to see this rain.
With your local Lincoln forecast. 10-11 now, Chief Meteorologist Ken Siemek.
Start you off with a graphic tonight that's entitled Things We Haven't Seen in a While here in the capital city. Well, before today, the last measurable rain was back on July 26th. Folks, that's almost 3 weeks ago now. We've only officially picked up 3/100ths of an inch so far today at the Lincoln Airport, but we think we have more rain headed our way later on tonight. More on that over the next couple of minutes. Before today, we've only had 1 day below 90 for a daytime high the entire month of August. So far today, 75 has been the warmest we've been. And then after today, we've got several more small rain chances to show you in the 7-day, and we'll do that at the end of the show here. Observed precipitation today. There's that 3/100ths of an inch in Lincoln. Most numbers, especially along and south of Interstate 80, were certainly far from significant, but they do creep up as you head into the northern third of the state. 30/100ths of an inch into came over about the past 24 hours. 42/100ths in York, 29/100ths in Wayne, 34/100ths in O'Neill. Check out Ainsworth, 1.1 inches of precipitation in the past 24 hours. 31/100ths of an inch in Valentine. So again, a lot of us, and we'll show you the map in just a second, have a much better chance of picking up more significant rain during the evening and overnight hours. Right now we've got temperatures that range from the middle 60s to the lower 90s. 64 in Wayne, 91 in Imperial. Those are the two extremes. 72 in Lincoln, 72 in Grand Island, and 87 right now in North Platte. Most of us with an east-northeast wind averaging out around 8 to 18 miles an hour. And even though the temperatures are cool in a lot of locations, it's a little bit on the muggy side out there. We've got dew points in the mid and upper 60s in a lot of locations. Satellite radar looks like this. We've had scattered light showers throughout much of the day over central and eastern Nebraska. That continues to move away, but we're watching some of this precipitation develop to our north and west, and we've also got some overrunning that's going to occur with a frontal boundary off to our south. So let's play this out for you. Skycast at 5 o'clock, doing a decent job of representing real world conditions. By the time we get to 10 o'clock, it's got a lot more showers and thunderstorms. Some of these thunderstorms could be isolated severe ones, or they could drop some heavy rain. This is through 10 o'clock, especially along and south of I-80. As we head through midnight, you can see the very heavy rains continuing over portions of south central, southeastern Nebraska into northeastern Kansas. By 7 a.m., most of the heavy stuff has moved away. Could be some lingering light showers through the first half of the day on Tuesday before we see decreasing cloudiness later in the day. Then maybe some fog early on Wednesday morning and some drizzle, but I think the balance of the day on Wednesday is going to turn out to be mostly sunny. Here's our marginal severe weather risk tonight. Main threats, damaging winds and 1-inch size hail, but also a concern that some areas, if we see training of thunderstorms where they just kind of continue to repeat and redevelop over the same areas, we could be looking at some very heavy rains in some locations. So we went with no rain for several weeks, and now tonight some of us could actually see some flooding rains. No severe weather risk tomorrow and certainly none on Wednesday. So here's the 48-hour precipitation potential, heaviest over eastern and southeastern portions of Nebraska. A lot of locations could pick up to a half inch inch, but those areas in the east could be picking up 1 to 2 inches of rainfall, and some isolated areas could even see more than that. Here's what we got for the capital city over the next 24 hours. The model precipitation potential runs from around 1/10 of an inch only, according to the GFS, all the way to 1.5 inches on the graph model. So again, wide-ranging precipitation potential in Lincoln, really going to depend on exactly where those thunderstorms fire up. As far as the rest of the situation, satellite radar is concerned, we'll check out or locking up the computer once again. Got so much information here, folks, I keep locking up the computer. So got to step over here and try and get it going. Once again, we're stuck on the precipitation potential, which is an important graphic, but it's not the only one. So we'll check out, again, a quick look at the regional satellite radar. Here's the surface front. So we've got a disturbance. We've got some overrunning here to this boundary to our south. That's where that heavy rain threat is going to come. And then milder tomorrow throughout much of the day with decreasing clouds. And then we're going to be looking at warmer conditions developing on Wednesday with that next front coming through for Thursday and Friday. Upper 50s, lower 60s tonight, 60s, 70s, and 80s tomorrow, mainly in the 50s tomorrow night, and then a little bit warmer, upper 70s, lower 80s on your Wednesday afternoon. Schaefer's Lincoln forecast at 9, 30% chance for a shower or storm, a better chance after 9 and 10 o'clock in Lincoln, 64 tomorrow morning with a 40% chance of light rain, then cool, mostly cloudy, a bit muggy tomorrow at 4. We have some additional thunderstorm chances, small ones coming later this week and into the upcoming weekend, but check out those temps, mainly in the low to mid 80s.
It's been a shock to the system.
It really
a little
has.
bit.
You know, we talked the big change was coming last week. We talked about it, but we didn't believe it till it got here. It's here, and we're enjoying it.
I am certainly enjoying
Absolutely.
it. Thanks so much, Ken. According to a new study out today from the climate research nonprofit First Street Foundation, extreme heat and humidity from climate change is getting worse. The study noted that this could bring extremely dangerous heat indices to much of the U.S. within the next 30 years, and the intensity and frequency of the hottest days of the year could also increase.
The study found the heat could increase in some areas more than others, including in a so-called extreme heat belt stretching from Texas to the Great Lakes. According to the study, more than 100 million Americans in that region could experience temperatures above 125 degrees during their hottest stretches of the year.
Well, coming up on 10/11 now at 5, running down the news stories and your top headlines for 6 o'clock.
Plus, the house where a cat and a hat came to life, now on the market. Here's a look at the closing numbers on Wall Street. LPS schools are back in session, and today we got to follow along with one student navigating her first day of school ever. Here are your Just Home headlines. Today, little Nevaeh and her dad walked to her first day of kindergarten at Hartley Elementary. She's been preparing for a while, playing school at home, and even assigning herself homework. Her dad says she's been asking to go to school for weeks. There's a lot to get used to. She said it was a pretty good first day. We'll have more on the first day of school at 6. And a plan seems to be taking shape when it comes to a long neglected area in South Lincoln. Tonight, the City Council is hearing public comment on using $6.5 million in tax increment financing dollars for the project to help redevelop the northeast corner of 27th and Highway 2. Most of the old buildings there, like the former Shopco and Valentino's, have been vacant for a long time. Out-of-state developers plan to put in a mix of restaurants, retail, and office buildings. We'll have more at 6 and 10.
He gave us green eggs and ham, the Lorax, and oh, the places you'll go. And now you can go to his place. In fact, if you have a lot of cash, it can be your place. The former home of Theodore Geisel, or Dr. Seuss, is now up for sale. He bought this San Diego pad back in 1947 and lived there up until 1991, working on many of his best-selling books inside the upstairs studio of the 5,000 square foot property. The price tag, though, will set you back a cool $18 million.
Taking a live look at our cloudy Lincoln skies on this Monday evening. Ken's back with a final check of the weather. Stay with us.
They can see a lull in the activity in Lincoln in the early evening and then pick back up. Once again, we get past 9 or 10 o'clock tonight, and some of it, rain could be heavy. Low 70s right now with cloudy skies, 60s, 70s, 80s, and even one 90-degree reading on the board, 91 in Imperial. Here's a look at the activity as it develops. Here's what happens between now and 10. You can see the thunderstorm development, especially after 9 o'clock. Then midnight, we're still looking at some very heavy rains, even into early on your Tuesday morning. Most of it has ended by the time we get to 7 a.m. Your 10 o'clock temperatures, 60s and low to mid 70s.
A refreshing change and maybe a few rumbles as we head into the
we're
overnight
going to have to keep
hours.
an eye on that.
Thank you so much. And thanks for choosing 10-11 now at 5. We'll see you right back here at 6.